Super Rugby AU round number 9, team of the week. They had a Sunday game, so this video is like a day later than usual. Believe it or not, it's still daylight hours. It's 4 o'clock here in New Zealand. But I have the light on because it's pretty miserable weather. But anyway, go through 15 players, some stats, some thoughts, and you guys can let me know your thoughts on who you would have had in your team of the week for the penultimate regular season round of Super Rugby AU. A loose head prop, I have gone with Tom Robertson. I mean, the dude scored a try. Don't deny me picking a guy who scores a try from a front rank. He has 8 runs for 4 meters, which is not the best conversion rate from meters into meters from runs, but it is what it is. 3 passes and an offload, 7 from 8 tackles. He doesn't concede a single penalty. Guy scores a try, man. Doing a bit of everything. So I did like his performance. But for tight head, I have gone with Alan Toa from the Brumbies. I still think, it's kind of not surprising, that the Brumbies look a better side when he is in the team. Really gets them to go forward. Interestingly, 6 runs for 5 meters, but he had one really big carry in one of the build-ups to a try, like whether he really got them over the advantage line. Even if it's only a meter, it gets them going forward, not going backwards. It's not static ball. 3 passes and an offload, 6 from 6 tackles. He also wins a turnover and doesn't concede any penalties. So scrum good. Around the park, very, very solid indeed. For hooker, I have gone with Kai Tu from the Force. Another man who scored a try, and what a try that was. He's never been in that much space in his life. He finishes with a try. 5 runs for 65 meters. It was a hell of a break. 1 clean break, 1 pass. The clean break is the try, obviously. 11 from 13 tackles, and the line-out was operating at a flawless 100%. So really good shift from him as well. Really pleasing to see some depth at hooker. If not guys loaded with international experience, some of the guys at this level doing really well. Another Force man, and I really seem to be picking him, Tamani, if I can spell, from the Force again. I think he's making his presence felt as well. A bit of a unit of a man too. 15 runs. He just loves the work. I mean, he doesn't get huge meterage, like 18 meters, but he just loves the contact, and he's not afraid to be that high work rate player, which is great to see because not everyone does that. 5 passes, 8 from 9 tackles, and wins a line out too. So, yeah, very pleased with him since he's come back into Australian rugby. Likewise, Caden Neville, and excuse me for going for try-scoring players. 3 of the 5 guys I picked so far have all scored tries. He gets a try, 6 runs for 8 meters. Again, all he had to do was pretty much gather and flop over the line to score that try. But I think, to be fair, he did actually have to reach out to ground it. He has a clean break and a defender beaten, 4 passes, 7 from 8 tackles, and 4 line-out wins. So also very effective in the air. Doing his core role and topping it off with a wee try. Loose forwards, and I'll admit, I was pretty gutted not to see Fergus Lee Warner in this jersey. But this man, Anstey from the Force, really stood up and showed what he's worth. 4 runs for 26 meters. In terms of that, number of meters he gets per carry, makes for very good reading, doesn't it? I mean, the 4 runs, obviously, you'd like to see a bit more, but he's getting the results from less ball. A clean break, 2 defenders beaten, 3 passes, 12 from 14 tackles was what I loved. 5 lineouts wins, I loved as well. He did concede 1 penalty, but I thought he put in a really good shift. I think he was their top lineout man, actually. Another player, this time from the Tars. I can't stop picking Carlo Tizzano, man. And I know there were other guys who had really good games in the number 7 jumper this week. And Carlo didn't score a try. But if I've already put it on screen, you can see why I picked him. His tackling rate is just stupidly high. But 4 runs, 3 meters. You never pick this guy for his ball and hand stuff, although he does beat 1 defender and has 1 pass. 27 out of 28 tackles is an absolutely stupid amount of tackles. It's not world record breaking, but man, it's very, 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 very high. Like, man. Like 15 is a really good shift. 10 is solid. 27 is phenomenally crazy. Whether they get some any plaudits at a higher level, I don't know. Like we had Matt Todd in New Zealand who used to make tackles for days, but Luke Whitelock, tackles for days, but the game was limited, so they never got many caps at the top level. But anyway, number 8, I've gone with Rob Valtini. They shifted him to number 8 for this game, and I thought he did pretty well. 9 runs, 27 metres. He is a big man, and I feel like he should be carrying bigger than he generally does, but that's a solid effort. A clean break, a defender beaten, 3 passes and an offload. 14 out of 15 tackles from him is also some proper work rate. So very pleasing to see. So a bit of an all-round package. And interestingly, 3 turnovers won. I had to double check that I got that right. 3 turnovers won. Not really what he's known for, but take that all the way to the bank, Brumbies fans. Scrum-half was a tough call. I ended up with going Pal from the Rebels. God, he's another guy who scored a try. I've gone with real fanboy for try scorers this week. Boy, did he love scoring that try, man. He looked absolutely elated to score the try against his former team, for sure. I think there's a bit of feeling in that one. 6 runs, 19 metres, a clean break, beat 2 defenders. Remember, he gets rid of Tom Banks when he tries to fly on him to stop that try. 69 passes and offloads, 7 from 10 tackles and 2 turnovers conceded. So it's not all peachy, but it's solid from Mr. Powell. From the Brumbies, I've gone with Lolosio. I don't think I've picked him many times this season. I've picked Jock a lot more. I think I've picked Tamur at least once. He gets a conversion because remember, what's his face? Lonergan was taking the goal kicks for this one for the most part. 8 runs for 33 metres, a clean break and 5 defenders beaten. So a bit more ball and hand stuff from him than maybe what we're used to seeing. Like really testing the defence. 21 passes, an offload, 8 kicks from hand and 8 from 9 tackles. Really good all-round picture. Obviously he didn't kick the goals for the most part. But the fact that you got a guy who runs 8 times, kicks 8 times and distributes 21 times, I think in terms of balance is pretty spot on. Midfielders. I've gone with Campbell Magnay from the Rebels, although I think it was his bobbled ball that led to Tom Wright's try. Apart from that, he ends up with a try assist of his own, a proper good run to set up Joe Powell for that one. 8 runs, 38 metres, a clean break, 3 defenders beaten. So when he was on fire, especially in that second half, he was looking the business. 4 passes and an offload, 6 from 8 tackles, 2 turnovers conceded, like I mentioned. 1 pretty costly, but he kind of balances that out with his try assist. Midfielders, I've gone with Tavita Kuridrani. I don't think I've had him on the board this year, and he's been there or thereabouts quite a few times, and I still don't think he's what I would like to see from Big TK. But 13 runs for 46 metres with 5 defenders beaten is something more of what we're used to seeing from the big fella. 12 passes and an offload, 5 from 7 tackles. Yeah, maybe we're starting to get to see a bit more of what we kind of know and love about the big man, but I hope he can go on from here and really, put in another good shift or two. Because it's not that he's not trying. He's trying real hard, but often the results just haven't quite been there. He's been well maintained, kind of well covered. Anyway, outside backs, I've gone with Tom Wright. He is the one who pounces. I think he gets past the loose ball from the Rebels bobble, but he's the one who scores the try, burns every guy who's chasing him. I think it was Lamani who was trying to chase him down. A try, 8 runs, 97 metres, 2 clean breaks and a defender beaten. So he's very sharp, man, very sharp. 2 passes and an offload. 1 from 4 tackles is really bad. But I think one of them they might have registered the tackle on Magnay as a miss, but he still stopped them. He stopped them, and then Magnay offloaded it, but he didn't grab him. So anyway, and he has 2 turnovers, 1. Interestingly enough, that's a heck of a stat for a winger. So maybe he's making up for a couple of those missed tackles with that. Other winger, I've gone with Newsom. Again, I thought he had a pretty good shift. He finishes with a try on a losing effort, unfortunately for him with the Tars. 8 runs for 61 metres is very healthy. He has 3 clean breaks and 4 defenders beaten, which is among the most dangerous guys of the week. Really, really quite dangerous ball in hand. And for somehow, he makes 9 out of 11 tackles. That's numbers that Tom Wright looks at and goes, damn, maybe wingers should be finishing with high numbers. Because sometimes for wingers, you can kind of forgive a low tackle count. They're often put in awkward positions and whatnot, but yeah, maybe not. Last guy I've gone with, and I really was a bit hesitant about this, but I've gone for Jack Maddox. He finishes off a couple of moves, so he gets a try and a try assist. Or was it him that had to kind of turn around to get the ball down at the end? Maybe he took an awkward pass to get that try. Showed some decent hands anyway. He has a try assist, 6 runs, 25 metres, which is great without being, well, it's just good without being great. A clean break, a defender beaten, and 2 from 2 tackles. So, kind of like, okay. But he was my least kind of convincing pick of the week for mine, in my own mind. But yeah, I wasn't quite convinced about everybody else. There were a few other guys. Parise from the Waratahs looked absolutely blockbusting. Ball in hand, but man, did he miss a lot of tackles. A lot of tackles. Heaps of tackles. I thought Cabelli from the Force looked pretty sharp. And Miozzi is probably a pretty good shot for 10. The way he slotted that drop goal, if his long-range kicking wasn't quite up to scratch. But yeah, certainly a lot of other guys to look at. But yeah, you guys let me know your thoughts as always. Who would you have had in your team of the week from the round just gone? 1 regular season round to go. Should be a pretty fun one to watch. Anyway, it is still pretty dark. I will put the dinner on pretty shortly. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later.